Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to an LSE Transfer Room Sunday night chat. A different one, by the way. We usually have SJ and Grace tonight, but they've got the week off. So myself and Charlie are taking over. It was supposed to be Matty again. Another thing happened which Matty couldn't come on. So it's just myself and Charlie. So hopefully we can give you as much energy as FJ and Grace did last week and keep their Sunday night chat going, because I think it's a brilliant idea. And last week was just brilliant numbers, and the people that got involved on the chat is exactly like what we love. So tonight, basically, it's a Sunday night chat. We're going to talk to the comments, see what your thoughts are about the week, whether it be the game on earlier on in the week, or the news, the transfer news, Fabinho, Henderson, midfielders. Where do we stand on midfielders? First and foremost, tonight, welcome Charlie onto the stream. How are you doing, Charlie, today?
Yeah, a lot better. I've had COVID this week. I know we just spoke about it, but yeah, just on the other side of it. So yeah, feeling a lot better. Thank you, mate. But glad to be here. Glad to be talking about Liverpool again.
Exactly that. Well, it's quite an interesting time to be a Liverpool fan at the moment, because we're middle of transfer window. Our pre-season's up and running. We've got another game tomorrow at 12 o'clock, and it's quite exciting. And the Klopp video came out as well, Charlie, which I managed to watch it this morning. Did you enjoy that one?
Yeah, it was really, really good. There was so many. I think like I said, in our group, Klopp just gets the club, doesn't he? He gets the fan base. He gets what we want to achieve, and it's so refreshing when you hear a manager just talk so it sounds weird, but lovingly about a club, because he gets it. I'm sure he's a fan. I'm sure that from his days in Germany, he just looked out for Liverpool, and being here is just like the best moments for him. And it just, he wants that he wants what we want, and I think that's just beautiful about the man. He's just brilliant. Everything you hear about him. He gets a little bit rankly at some points during the season, but rightly so when certain things don't go the way that they should. But I wouldn't change it for the world. Just brilliant.
The way Klopp has gone about it's the connection between the fans and Klopp is exactly why we can build on that, and where we have built on that, and it helps the team massively, because the connection there, it's so vital, especially Anfield alone.
Yeah.
It's so vital to have that connection between the fans and the players, and the manager and the fans, that you see when he talks about the fans. You can see it the way he cares, that we need that fire in the crowd. We need those loud fans, loud supporters. That energy between the manager and the fans can transition onto the pitch, can't it?
Yeah. Well, see, I was just thinking about it. If you think about like other teams, Chelsea and whatnot, and they're changing the guards of constantly throughout the season. What Klopp's able to do is connect the fan base to the players, because he's able to kind of voice what is expected of a decent human being, of a decent scouse, different scouser as well, different fans who associate themselves with Liverpool. He's able to kind of put that point across, and that's why he's such a great manager, isn't he? And that psychology behind him I think he's miles ahead of everyone else in the league in Europe in terms of that connect with his players and then with the fans as well. And I think that's what is able to get the players. And this is why we see constantly when players who are coming over to Liverpool, they say they have a conversation with Klopp. Klopp sells them the project, not just the project, but the fan base. I'm sure that's something that it's told to them when they're having that conversation. If you do well, the fans will love you, and I think that's what certain players have missed when they've left.
You talked about the Klopp and the connection with the players, bringing transfers in as well. I think just give these players that that at and ahhing, whether to come to Anfield or not, give them maybe a night in Europe at Liverpool at Anfield, and that'll just sway them alone, won't it?
Anfield under the spotlight is such a different beast. It's just, again, whenever I've been, it's just a magical place. There's such a buzz around the city, around, you're walking around Anfield and you go into the club shop and whatnot. And when you start start getting that feel as you walk into the stand and see the pitch just glistening and under the lights itself. It's just beautiful. So I think it's really, really important that when you're talking to players, you sell the fact that this is a club that will be going places and Tuesdays, Wednesdays, or this season Thursdays for 1 year only. So be it. Even whatever competition we're playing in Europe, it's going to be brilliant. It's going to be a tour. It's going to be something that will live with the player for ages, for years, and that's what Klopp brings to the club, and especially when he wants to bring in the players. As
Heliard just said there about the Fabinho the deal, Charlie, about it's in the final stages now. There's no dogs going to ruin anything. Obviously, they had a little bit of a hiccup in last day or so about the French Bulldogs not being permitted in Saudi Arabia. I'm guessing like something maybe have taken place where they've made an exception, possibly. I don't know how it works over there, but yeah, we're going to get on to a bit more chat tonight now about. We might start with midfield. Let's start a bit of midfield, and as the chat's starting to say now about Lavia and Paulinho. Let me see what the chat thinks. Let me see what the chat thinks. Let's see what you guys think. Who do you want, chat? Who do you want? Do you want a Lavia? Do you want a Decore? Do you want a Paulinho, Kamara, or Gravenberch? Thuram is up there. Tchouameni still in and about. So it's just been the money of Tchouameni. Or should we just actually pay for Caicedo? So that's my preference. If I had to choose, it'd be either Caicedo or Tchouameni plus another, like a Lavia or a Paulinho, for example. Give me yours, chat, for start. Who is your perfect person? Scratch there says Caicedo's going to Chelsea. Well, it's been a week. It's been over a week since the club released that the boat has sailed regarding Caicedo, and he's still not a Chelsea player. So the boat hadn't sailed at all, really. And I knew
and
it was just
played.
It was.
And he played the other day, didn't he? So just like what we've seen with Henderson and Fabinho, they didn't play. The talks, the heads are gone. But with Caicedo, even the manager at Brighton, he's very much until the owner says that there's a different story. He's our player. So who knows? There could be potential for that to still happen.
Well, Trucy said Caicedo is the perfect fit. We have no chance for Caicedo. Well, it depends what you classify as a chance. I think we have a chance if we actually went for him and actually put the money down. Ahmed says there, Llorente from, I'm guessing Llorente you mean, from Atletico Madrid. Damon and Charlie, do you think we will get two players? Charlie, do you think we'll get two players?
Yeah, I think we'll get two players, for sure. One midfielder, one defender. But whether we can get two midfielders and a defender, that's up for debate, I think.
Stephen's also put another player in the chat there, Charlie. What about James Milner, young lad?
Oh, yeah. I think he's pretty good at the bleep test, isn't he?
I think we've got another Jesse Lingard there, haven't we? Another young lad there. Caicedo, such a no-brainer. Paul said exactly that. I said it the other day about the big money and how important this CDM is, because I got it on Twitter earlier. Someone said to me, "Look," I said, "you can't rely on like a Lavia and a Bečečić, for example, as a CDM at that young age." He said, "Well, it happened with Trent. A right back and a CDM is a totally different positions completely. The pressure on a CDM, especially in this Liverpool tactics and this Liverpool team right now, is tenfold. It's like a striker, it's like a goalkeeper, it's like a centre back. Right back's different. When Trent came in at such a young age, he had the likes of Van Dijk next to him, Matip, Gomez and Robertson, who was experienced
Henderson
players right there.
when he was playing. Yeah. When Henderson first came into the team, he was there, wasn't he?
Do you know how important CDM is look at Liverpool before Fabinho and look at Liverpool after Fabinho. Look at Manchester United, for example. I don't like bringing them up, but look at Manchester United without Casemiro.
Yeah.
How important that CDM is. You cannot rely on youngsters there.
Absolutely.
So as Paul says here, you've got to pay the big money. I said it the other day. You've got to pay the big money for a player like this. It's such an important role. It's a game changer, just like Van Dijk was, just like Alisson Becker was, where we paid the money. Obviously, it was different with that because we're Coutinho.
Yeah, but the thing is the Decore chat, so kind of similar ages, but the money for Decore is very much in the same ballpark figure as Caicedo, but he's a tremendously better player. You know, the potential, the ceiling for Caicedo over Decore, I would say, is a lot higher. So if we were comfortable paying, you know, that crazy money, 70 million for Decore, who's had one good season at Palace, fair enough, he's played a season for them, but you know, this is Palace and a team that's just got into Europe for the first time. You know, he's been instrumental in doing that.
I mean, just the fact that Caicedo's versatile as well, Charlie. I mean,
Yeah,
Klopp was a versatile player. I mean, the way he played centre back last season when he had to cover, it was unbelievable. And he played right back in one game. I'm sure he played right back in one game towards the end of the
sure he
season,
did. I'm pretty
and he was
sure he did as
unbelievable.
well.
So that, you know, if you want a perfect James Milner replacement, as it were, there you are in Caicedo.
And he's played well at Anfield against us.
Exactly
You know,
that, yeah.
the 3-3. He was, you know, I know there was other players on that day, but you know, he's going to be part of the team. He's going to be playing well and doing things that we want. We need that destroyer within the middle of the park. Okay, he may not be the number 6 that we actually are properly after, but having him in is going to be better than possibly the other options that are being thrown out there. I think
I think the other
Paulinho.
options are good. It's just they can't be alone.
Yeah, but
They'll have you
Paulinho is a strange one because of his age. You know, with the way that we play, he's a good player and he'll be really good for 2-3 years. But once his legs fall off, just like we've seen with Fabs and Henderson, you know, the two players that are leaving because the legs have gone. I know Fabinho started playing well towards the end of last season, but I just worry about that type of player commanding such a high price, coming in just for 2-3 seasons and then just dropping off a cliff. I think we need players that are going to be there for 5, 6, 7 years.
Florento Lorenzi is another one that's been put in the chat as well a couple of times. Scratch has said him, Helios mentioned him, but again, Florentino Luis is another expensive player, a bit like Decore. They're both rumoured about £80 million, and well, it's FSG in it, so I think that answers that question earlier. Do you think we're going to buy 2 players? It all is on FSG because Klopp, for me, the best thing about that interview that Klopp did was the fact that he's really sold FSG under the bus.
Yeah,
and he said, look, I want my players and we need to get the players, he said. So when it comes to the end of the window and if we don't get what we need, then you cannot no longer blame Klopp anymore.
Well, this is the thing. So what was it 2-3 weeks ago when James Pearce came out and said that we need to sell players before we can start thinking about buying the next one. We've done that now, you know, pending any kind of silly admin issues with the 2 Saudi deals for Henderson and Fabinho. That's it. What else do you need from us to say? Well, and a couple of dogs. Yeah. Why not? But there you go. That's the proof in the pudding. The money's there now. Back yourselves up because you've gone through James, you know, leaked whatever you needed to through him to say that there's not going to be any signings until we sell players, and now we have got those 2 players, got the money in the bank basically.
Let me ask you something, Charlie. When you say there where we need to sell those 2 players to get someone in, is it only that money that we've got now?
Oh, I hate to think if that's the case. But I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I generally wouldn't be surprised because we go by a sell to buy policy, don't we? And that's recuperated the money that we spent on McAllister. I know there's a lot of money spent on Szoboszlai, but we haven't paid him. We're not paying RB. We're paying a third party, aren't we? So yeah.
Chat. What do you reckon? You answer that then, chat. What do you reckon? Do you reckon we get the 40 million obviously for Fabinho? Is it like 15, 20 for Henderson tops? So you're talking about 50, 55 million. Is that our budget now for 2 players? Well, to me, I think we need 3 or 4 still. I still think we need maybe tops 3 centre midfielders. I'd be happy with 2 and definitely a centre back. I've said it a couple of times now. We need 3 centre backs by next summer, the end of next summer. And we're going to leave ourselves in a situation next summer now where we're desperate again, needing 3 players in one position. It just doesn't work. And this is why teams then hike up prices and it just leaves us in a situation we don't need to be in. We need to start being proactive instead of reactive. And that is again all in FSG. I feel like we just talk about FSG a lot on here, especially myself. But that's the deal with it all. It's the main problem is FSG. If they can't sanction certain transfers, if they don't sanction certain money, then Klopp is literally can't do anything. What can he do? He's got to try and pick out the best what he can with the money he has got, and his team's got to do that same thing.
Mm-hmm.
We may have to just settle for cheap options, and if you're settling for cheap options, then expect cheaper results sometimes.
And we did that with Karius, didn't we? We went for a cheap option there, thinking, he'll be this and that. We can build him up to be, a really good top class goalkeeper, and that ended in tears, didn't it? Literally tears for the lad. So yeah, we can't be sitting on our hands while other teams keep strengthening. That's going to be the issue. If we want to achieve what we want to achieve, and we can do it, we just need to back in from the owners. 100%.
We have British royalty in here right now. David Shakespeare, the late great grandson of William himself. Ask you a question here, Charlie. Thiago wants to go. How much do you reckon we'll get for
him? Depending on where he goes. If it's Saudi, we can try to get 20, 25, 30 million. If it's to Spain, I think we struggle to get 15 million from any club in Spain at the moment. I don't think they just have the finances
40
there.
Million, Thiago says 40 million in January. I can't say he's getting 40 million in January just because his contract runs out next year. If we can't get 40 million now, then we're going to get 40 million in January.
What do you think? What do you think, Dara?
I think I agree with you. I think about 30. I think we'll get his money back. What was it, 25 million? We'll possibly get his money back, but even then, was it like a 5-year installment? Wait, 5 million each year or something like that with Thiago?
Yeah.
Very, very cheap.
Remember us doing that with the Jota deal as well, didn't they?
Ahmed says 12 million it was for Henderson. Chelsea had 2 bids turned down for Caicedo. Look, Brighton have every right to want that sort of money for their players because they've done the right thing where they've scouted players like Caicedo and McAllister, got them on a cheap, and they've turned them into absolute superstars. I mean, you saw the other day where McAllister played for us, and you can tell the difference already between McAllister and like an Henderson.
Jump up.
Look at Jota.
Yeah.
Jota had to change his boxes, for Christ's sake, how excited he was. And if he's going to get excited what's going to happen, even Klopp the other day, in that interview, he said literally like the players are so happy that they've got these kind of players passing to them, and the spaces that they create and stuff. It's just that's the difference, isn't it, Chad? That's the difference. If you've got to just pay up sometimes for quality. I know McAllister got him on cheap, but here's a question for you, Charlie. If McAllister had to, if we went on cheap, would we have paid up for him, no matter how much a difference he made?
I think we would have.
Like the Caicedo thing, we were like 70, 80 million. Do you think we'd have paid? I think so,
but that would have impacted us getting Szoboszlai. I think we would have got. I think McAllister was our number 1 target. We got him. However, if it were double the price, we still probably would have paid for him. But we would never have got Szoboszlai. I think Szoboszlai was just is that luxury play that we've kind of just landed on.
Exactly this when people say like players choose money over players, but Van Dijk had an offer from Man City. That's money and trophies, by the way. There's guaranteed trophies at Man City at the moment over us, more so. So Liverpool's a special club.
Yeah,
you can't underestimate the power of Liverpool. You can't underestimate the power of Jurgen Klopp to bring such players to Liverpool.
Absolutely, 100% agree. You could go through the whole team and you could pick out a real big percentage of the players. Gakpo, there was obviously talk there. Nunez, Luis Diaz when he was linked with Spurs. These are all players. Once they start speaking to Klopp and Klopp gets in their ear and starts selling them the dream, and it's not just a dream. I think it's like there's stuff behind it. But Klopp's a different breed of manager compared to others. Even Pep. Pep's a really good, revolutionary type of manager. But essentially, if something doesn't work, he'll throw it away and buy a new part for his car. Basically, he's that type of person. So different levels to manager there.
This is a great question, Ahmed. Absolute great question, because just knowing the price of players, that if we had 120 million, Charlie and I think we may have like 50 million on the sales.
Yeah.
120 million then, Charlie, hypothetical. 120 million, you've got to bring 3 players in, 2 midfielders and a defender. Who are going to get? We can't get a Caicedo there with 120 million, or like a Caldwell, for example, because you've only got 40 million left for them for everyone else.
So if we think Inacio he's got a buyout clause for, yeah. So you got that. Then you have Lavia. Let's say Lavia, 35 million. So then, what's that? 70 million altogether.
You got about 40 million left. 35, 40 million left. Thuram.
Thuram. Yeah.
Thuram's about 35, 40 million.
There you go.
Ahmed. It's not easy, Ahmed. That's on a strict budget. I think that 120 million is a strict budget. I think our perfect three would be a little bit different. Thuram's actually in my perfect three. It'd be along Caicedo, Thuram, Caicedo, or Tchouaméni. If we could get Tchouaméni.
Yeah, Tchouaméni's just he's a game changer. He's a Van Dijk type change for us, I think.
Exactly that. Me personally, with them two, and then Caldwell as a third. So if I say like 70, 80 million, I'm not going to say Caicedo. I'm going to say Tchouaméni. Say 80 million for Tchouaméni. Thuram back 30, 35, so that's 115 there. Who else did I say? Caldwell. We could get it down to like 60, 70 possibly. Bearing in mind it's installments, so that's, you're talking what, 175, 180 tops, but plus that 50 million that's off. We shouldn't be asking too much of 130, especially all the money that was saved on wages. They always
if Thiago was to leave,
sort of thing, they owe us this sort of spend. I think the fact that they don't spend that much anyway. I mean, look at last season. People say, "Well, we spent 100 million on Núñez." He wasn't 100 million at all. Let's put that straight away. About 60. That was 85 million, including add-ons. That was including add-ons, 85 million. But we paid all those add-ons. No. Exactly. It was in instalments. You know, it was like, was it like 60 up front, even less up front, possibly?
I think it was less. Yeah. Definitely, it was definitely less than.
So we didn't pay that, and if you think about it, we sold Mane, we sold Taki, we sold Origi. That accumulated to like 60 million itself. So we only paid like 20 million in the transfer window anyway.
Yeah.
So I think FSG they owe Klopp that sort of spend where we just had it up to like 175 million, but take away the sales, that's 130 million-ish.
I think with the players that you've just mentioned there, I think that allows us to possibly let go someone like Thiago, who could get, buffer the coffers a little bit with his sale, and not worry too much because you got world-class players just coming in.
And I wanted to, I'm trying to find it, the highlight of Matty there. Absolute pleasure, Matty, that they're putting a super chat in. I'm going to read it now. And this rebuild was 200 mil that seemed before them who decided to leave. So for me, another 150 mil has to spend. Arsenal have done it. Why can't we? Exactly that, Matty. I think you couldn't have put it better yourself.
I think it's ambition of the owner, isn't it? I think it's ambition of the owners. If you look at it, Kroenke's just come in and he's suddenly decided that he wants to be spending money, making Arsenal a valuable asset, and he's done that over the last 3, 4, 5 transfer windows. They've outspent us already. In what they've spent in 3, 4 years, we probably spent in 8, 9 years. That's the level of ambition that they've got compared to our owners, who are very frugal, to put it kindly, in it.
That is a very kind way of putting it, my friend. Ahmed said Inacio. Yeah, we did say Inacio in terms of the numbers that you give us, Ahmed. Anyway, Inacio was our centre-back calling because he only gave us a small budget, unfortunately. I think, but Ahmed, the problem is you give us a small budget, right? I think it's a small budget to what we need, but FSG is going to give him a smaller budget, and then that's the worst. That's the worst thing about all this, is FSG look at 120 million. They'll probably turn his channel off now. As soon as they saw that comment there saying 120 million for that, they'll turn it straight off.
Yeah, but the thing is, 120 million doesn't really get you much these days anyway. If you think about it, Decore is being quoted as 70, 80 million. That's easy. Again, he's playing for Crystal Palace. He's not playing for Man City or the big European teams. This is a Crystal Palace player, and they want 80 million for him.
I mean, that's Premier League tax, isn't it, Charlie? I mean, I'm surprised with our owners, I'm surprised we're even looking at the Premier League alone anyway.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you look at like Kone, for example, that'd be a 40 million move. I know he got a little bit of injury, but even then, it's not. I don't think it was that bad of an injury to say, that's it, I'm not going for Kone anymore. You know, he want absolute weeks and months on end of missing out. I think it's just a small little injury in a match. He's out for a few weeks. And I'm going to say what Charlie said here. 100 people watching, but only 16 likes. Please make sure you like and subscribe if you are new, especially if you're new. Like the thing, because it helps us out. It helps us out to get your algorithms going, and we'll be giving you better content. I think it will be giving you more content, better content, and this would help us out massively. Just little like, just doesn't take long just to press the like button. Press subscribe, maybe turn notification bells on, because we are live every single night, and we want to do it for you guys. You know, this guy tonight is Sunday night chat. That means we're getting more involved with the comments. The comments are running the show tonight. Let's see what do you want to ask us? What do you want to ask me, Charlie? You know, could be anything. What do you have for tea or something like that? But let's keep it Liverpool. If you want to keep it Liverpool related, please do. If you want to know what we had for tea, then I'm happy to answer that as well. But yeah, if you can keep it Liverpool rated, and we've got a match tomorrow. Don't forget, we've got one at 12 o'clock, pre-season. Let's see if we can see some more of McAllister Gakpo masterclass like we did against Karlsruhe. And yeah, so let's move on then, Charlie. Let's go on to our midfield options as a whole then. Which one stands out for you? The main list. There's 5 of them in the main list. And chat, you answer this as well, please. Romeo Lavia. I'm going to say, let's pick 2. Romeo Lavia, Jet Decore, João Paulinho, Boubacar Kamara, and Ryan Gravenberch. Which 2 stand out for you the most?
I'd probably say Lavia, and I'm a little bit undecided about Decore. I don't like Paulinho's age. Kamara I haven't watched too much, and then Gravenberch hasn't played too many minutes in the last year, so it's not the greatest of lists. But if you can push me, then I'll probably say Lavia and Decore.
You know what? I think I couldn't argue with that, because of Gravenberch is not 6. Number one, I'm surprised even on that list because he's not a CDM. Paulinho again, I think they're asking for 70, 80 million, and again the age. It's not worth the age. Kamara's a very good player, but I think if I had to edge it, it would be probably with Lavia and Decore. And yes, while Dead Wolf, we are in talks with the agents of Lavia, I think, but I think we've been in talks for quite a while now, and it's the same. Fabrizio Romano came out a bit earlier on that we're in talks with him, but we're unsure on the fee. I mean, it's the same thing every single day. It's been like for 2 weeks now that we clearly want Lavia. We're in talks. Klopp wants him. Everything in the background's probably going right in terms of getting Lavia in. It's all up to FSG sanctioning the move. That is all it is. Every single time. It might not be 50 million. I don't think he's a 50 million pound player just yet.
No.
If you look at his age, 19 years old.
Playing for a relegation team as well. That's the thing.
And that's what I'm surprised even asking for 50 million, because I think that's quite cheeky, to be honest. But fair play to them. If they're not going to lose, they're not going to lose him, are they? With a Liverpool in a desperate situation where we either pay for him or we're knackered.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that Man City will activate the clause next season when it comes back in?
You know what?
I don't think they would. I don't personally think they would.
You can't write them off doing that, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Would you take that chance and miss out on your target?
Yeah.
I think we're doing that too many times. We do that too many times where we're no.
Oh, sorry.
We always miss out on the target in the end.
Yeah, sorry. The point I'm trying to get at is I don't think Man City probably rate him enough to say that we'll activate the 40 million. What I think we should be doing is suggesting is that I don't think Man City would do that. Therefore, the price of the player is less than 40 million. That's what I'm trying to get at. I think
Southampton are doing what everyone else does, Charlie, where they're waiting for more competition to come involved. So the price maybe could be negotiated down. I think Nice did the same with Thuram, but no one else really came in.
No.
So it's like it's a stalemate between like Liverpool and Southampton. And this could go on to the end of the transfer window. And when it comes to the end of the transfer window, and we either pay up or not, then we're in a situation where we haven't bought anyone else. We either move on from this or we pay up, for me now, because if we get to the end, we don't buy anyone. That's it. And we've already played a few games, by the way, of the season.
That's what I mean.
The transfer window doesn't end until was it 31st of August? It's 1st September. So we've played a few games, and again, Klopp doesn't want that. Klopp wants his players now. Klopp would have had his players now before the Karlsruhe game.
Yeah,
it was up to him.
And if you think about it, it's how long would it take a player coming in at the very end of the window to get up to speed with the tactics, the fitness that Klopp wants, that they expect, and then to get into the match day team, the starting 11, it's going to take months. So by coming in later, it's going to cause us problems for that first period of games. And we've got a tough period of, the first 5 fixtures that we've got in the league are just, really, really tough. Chelsea away, we've got Newcastle, we've got City.
And it's so important to get off to a good start as well, especially with City.
We have to get a good start.
When City get off to a good start, you're playing catch up.
There you go.
Playing catch up against a team like this is just impossible.
Yep. Yeah.
Harry says here, what do you think it happens? Is we need a solid CDM such as Kaiser or Lavia? What do you think? Well, I think we both answered it ourselves. I think we need both of those, and not just one of them. Obviously, if we bring in a Lavia, we definitely need 2, because a Lavia is 19, but Butetić is only a young lad as well. Is he 18, 19 as well? Butetić is 18 now. So we're relying on 2.
Demo, let me ask you this one then.
What?
If you had the choice of both those players, Caicedo and Lavia, and then forgo a centre-back, would you be happy to do that and then do that business next season and hope that all 4, 5 centre-backs that we got at the club, the youngsters as well, stay fit?
I wouldn't be happy. If that's the question, I won't be happy, because I think it's FSG getting away with it again.
Yeah.
FSG are not allowing us to address all the problems that we need to. But like I said, I think next year we need at least 3 centre-backs by the end of next summer. We've got Matip's getting older, he's going to move on. Van Dijk's, you don't know what Van Dijk's form's going to be like.
Yeah.
He's not only is he getting older, you don't know what he's going to be like. Joe Gomez is to turn absolute dog now. Konate is injury prone. We can't rely on Konate, to be on his own anyway. He needs a little bit of backup if he is injury prone. Obviously, he's going to be number 1 starter, but who's going to be his secondary next to him?
Yeah.
Who's going to be his backup when Matip goes? Who's going to be his backup? Gomez, who's been an absolute dog. You can't rely on the same. We did it when we did it that injury prone season, that injury hit season, where we relied on 3 centre backs. One of them being Van Dijk, who got absolute shock injury, freak injury. That that cannot be expected at all. And then we relied on Matip and Gomez, 3 centre backs, 2 of them injury prone.
Yeah.
And then we cry about injuries when we come into it. We prepared. If you're a business, whether you're a business or not, if you prepare like that, where you're relying on 2 of your players that are unreliable in terms of turning up, then what are you expected in the season? The worst, if you don't prepare for the worst, then you can't complain when the worst happens. It's unfortunate that the worst did happen, but we all have ourselves to blame, and it's come to a point now where we're in a desperate situation. I don't want that to happen again next season, because it could happen again with the defenders. We're going to need 3 defenders, and next year, if Matip goes for a 3, for example, we're desperate in the market again, and everyone's just going to go 60 million, 70 million, Colwell 623 million. You know what I'm saying? Everything's just going to be out of bounds again, like it is this time.
Yeah,
we're going to be going all the way to the end of end of the window, probably doing a panic buy again. Can you feel panic buy coming on, Charlie?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, with a midfielder. I don't think we'll get a defender personally. I think we'll get Lavia and then a panic buy just to kind of shore up the numbers, and then after that we'll just hope for the best.
Chat, throw a few names out. Who's going to be our panic buy last day of the transfer window? First, obviously Arthur Melo's been one in the past. Ben Davis, Kabak was another one. Again, make sure you like and subscribe to the stream. Matty, again, thank you very much for the super chat. Don't need Lavia. We've got Bacchetti to get Caicedo in. I get that one, Matty. Let me ask you this then, Matty. What do you see Bacchetic as? Because for me personally, obviously he can play well at 6. He came through as a defender through the academy, but for me, when he played well as a number 8 last season, I think that suits him more than a 6.
I think, yeah, works in the same model, same mode as Caicedo for me. Not that number 6, more of a roaming number 8 that can destroy a ball-winning midfielder. That's how I see him. I think if we need someone, we need someone that's actually like the anchor, a deep playing midfielder, something along those lines. Kone would have been a good one. Tchouameni is obviously the prime candidate for that type of role.
What do you think to this, Charlie? Douglas Luiz from Villa, but I think FSG need to look at Villa and look at how their ambitions are looking at, because their ambitions are going above and beyond what Villa fans are expecting right now. It's not even we've got ownership that's not even matching our ambitions, but Villa owners are going above and beyond Villa's fans' ambitions.
They've got a really good manager. They've got a really good director of football in Monchi, and it seems like they've got owners. Egyptian owners who are very, very interested in building up Villa, and they're a really good club, great stadium, got everything that is needed to be really successful, very much like Newcastle in some ways. But yeah, I worry about that because just purely down to Monchi just getting Diaby yesterday, I think that's a fantastic purchase there.
Under Emery, Charlie, do you think they can sneak into top 5? It is top 5 now.
I think it's too strong. I think that top 5 is still too strong. They'll do well to get close. Personally, I don't think the defense is as good as what people make out to be. And I haven't been convinced by Tyrone Mings. I've got to be honest.
Mings, oh no, yeah. I think they definitely need a new centre back. I think he improved under Emery, but he's still not the guy, is he? I think he improved under Emery, but he's still not the guy. He reminds me of Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire had some good games sometimes for Man United, but it doesn't mean he's the one, is it? Ahmed puts a good question in here. Do you think all these names have been talked about to cover up a big signing like Dominic? But Ahmed, that worries me, because I don't want that to be true, because if it's a big signing, that means we're not getting anyone else. Say, for example, if we got a Caicedo or a Tchouameni, that'd be it. There's no chance we'd get someone else under FSG. That's what I want. I want Tchouameni and plus more. But in reality, what I know reality is, if we ever got someone like that, that'd be it. That could be it for like 3 years. I said it there about Declan Rice. If we got Declan Rice, that could be us done for 3 years for transfers.
I was going to bring that up. I was going to be cheeky and ask about that. But yeah, someone's mentioned Ward-Prowse in the comments.
Good shout. What, panic buy Ward-Prowse?
I think he's a good player. I just his age. He's got lots of good attributes, but not the type of player that we're after. Quite simply.
Exactly that, Helio. I think Bacchetic does have a future like Alonso, for example, and he can play. He's quite versatile. He can play a few positions, but we can't rely on such a young kid in that position taking over Fabinho role, because I don't think people are trying to cotton on to how important CDM is, especially in this system, especially with Trent going into the inverted role, because if Trent plays the inverted role and we don't have a disciplined number 6, one that can hold the line by himself, a one that can drop back into the centre-back position, a one that can cover all that space, a 19-year-old put that sort of pressure on in a Liverpool shirt, it's different. It's different, isn't it, Charlie?
How exposed? I mean, the thing is, how exposed was our defence last season? Even with a half fit and not playing really well midfield, they're just exposed. Van Dijk was labouring at the back, allowing attacks to kind of make their way into the box. You need someone that protects them. As good as Virgil is, and Canate, they need that type of protection in front of them. I think Kimmich is an absolute cracking shout. But yeah, just like what I said, is the budget done after that.
Well, again, you go back to my night, Charlie, about Casemiro. He had Varane at centre back. Champions League winning Varane, like three.
Yeah.
Is it 5 times he won it? 3 times in a row. So it doesn't matter how good the defenders are. If you don't have a strong number CDM in front of you, then you're in trouble. You go look at back of all the champions of England, for example. Let's go back to Man United. Roy Keane, that centre defensive midfielder. Look how important he was. Then we got to Chelsea. It was Makelele first, wasn't it? Arsenal, they had like Gilberto. Vieira was there, but Gilberto that sorts out that CDM role.
Yeah.
And going in then
Leicester. If you can think about Leicester,
Kante, exactly
you
that.
think of Kante. Kante then went to Chelsea, and he was their player of the season again, wasn't he? Really? So
Chelsea,
how crucial
Chelsea,
is he?
Man City, look at their CDMs, Fernandinho for most part. Then you get into Rodri. That CDM is a striker position. It's part of the spine. Those spine players are so important.
Yeah. But when we won the league, Fabinho was probably the best number 6 in the world.
Exactly
for 2-3 years, and we didn't. We called him the lighthouse. We've called it. The reason why we said that is because he's able to kind of view and see what's actually going on and put a stop to whatever needs to happen. In terms of attacks, but it goes probably under the radar how good a CDM Fabinho was for those 2-3 years, and now he's being called up short. That's what we need. Definitely.
Do you think Fabinho still had something in him? I think he still had something there, and we just need an understudy. We just need an understudy under him.
Yeah. I think he performed really well in a double pivot, either with Trent or with Thiago when he's fit. He can't do everything on his own. I think that's the problem. It's because he just didn't have a partner next to him as a double pivot. And then, I think 40 million is probably the right thing for him, though. For us, we can't really turn down that type of money for a player who has that age profile. Maybe doesn't have the legs. There may be stats that we haven't seen that kind of indicate that he has dropped off. So what can we do though when 40 million is put in front of you and it's cash? The way that I probably understand it, it's cash. It's there. It's going to go into the bank. We can't really say no to it.
I don't think we have any cash, mate. I don't know how we even get our money anymore, because we say we spend what we earn and things like that, but Liverpool earn a shitload. Like I'm not, I don't want to curse here, but we earn a shitload, and we don't seem to spend what we earn. So we can't really say we spend what we earn when we're not really doing that. We're spending what we earn through sales, and a little bit more, but we're just always leaving ourselves short every single season. And this season, I said it the other day on Thursday night, that how important this summer transfer window is. This sets us up for the next 10 years, possibly. Bearing in mind, Klopp is leaving in 3 years. I think that alone, that absolutely shit scares me. The fact that I'm not just thinking about this season coming up. I'm thinking about the seasons in future. If we get like a Lavia and did it on his own, and 19 could ruin his career, all that pressure on him in a Liverpool shirt on his own in that CDM position, then he's supposed to be our future, and then that could be ruined. So it's such an important transfer window, and it's about time FSG really started pulling their finger out and started showing that they care about this club. So I don't think they do. I don't think they're going to pull out. They might pull out for one transfer, I think.
I think they'll do.
Clear that Klopp doesn't want just one.
Yeah, they'll do the minimum. They'll do the minimum just to kind of keep the club ticking along. That's what it is. But their priorities, and we've seen this week with the new FSG village or whatever it is around Boston. I think that's their kind of golden nugget, if that's what you want to call it, or golden crown, to what they want to do in terms of FSG's assets. And we're just that's what we just are, and I hate that. I don't want to be the asset of a sports group. I want to be the asset of a single owner who just loves the club and will do whatever he can or they can to ensure that we are competing for transfers and for titles.
They are playing SimCity, yeah, like Roller Coaster Tycoon, when you used to build all your roller coasters, your fairground, things like that, and you'll see all the money coming up at the top. I don't know if you played it, but the money would go. You'd watch them all these people going into roller coaster queue and all the money's stacks up. That's what they're doing. That's what they're playing. They're playing.
Yeah. Or like, Monopoly. You buy so many properties, you forget what you got, don't you? Really. And then it's just suddenly when someone drops something on your square, Anfield L4. Oh right, yeah, that I own them again, don't I? What do I do? Yeah.
Man United seem to drop on Anfield quite a lot with a hotel on. That's in the last season. So I mean, they owe us a lot sometimes. Again, Charlie's put in there 100 people in here. Make sure you do like and subscribe to the channel, because everything we do for you guys is coming off for you and your. If we get the viewers in here, we can offer more to you, and also if we can build this channel up to what we want it to be, we can be here for you every day, all day, if we must. At the moment we only do once a night, but if we can get this into a channel where we could do it all the time for you guys, then we want to give you the best content. That's my first and foremost. I don't care if if I do this every night or not, or every day, but I want to give when I'm on here, I want to give you guys the best content, the best people. I want to give you something to listen to and something to watch.
We've got so many ideas, haven't we, Demo?
We've got
speaking about
so many ideas, so many ideas, podcasts, and I'm sorting guests out again for the podcast for just before the season. I've got a special podcast on the way where I'm getting a few fans from different channels as well, and we're going to talk about the upcoming season. I've got maybe another few celebrity podcasts coming on. So the more you guys give us and the more likes we get, the more subscribers we get, the better the content and the more content we're going to get as well, I think. And it all comes back to you guys, and we appreciate you guys. Everyone that, even like Jen's not in tonight, I'm surprised to see actually. Matty, who put super chats in, absolute pleasure to have you guys on. And these super chats do not go to waste. They will go everything back into you guys and make sure you guys are getting the best content around. We want to be the best Liverpool channel around. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
We want to be the one that you guys come to if you want to listen to. And we're quite straight up in this chat out with Charlie. We're quite straight up. If you don't want to, we don't beat around the bush. We say how it is. Let's be honest. We don't. If something needs saying, whether it's FSG out or anything like that, we need to say it.
Yeah. I think we said the other day about us being the best unbiased LFC channel on YouTube. I think we are that already. We can be even better, even bigger with all the fan support. People on this channel like, subscribe. It just all helps. It's just those little things.
It's community, isn't it, Charlie? It feels like a community.
Yeah. That's it.
The people. Charlie's put in there. Charlie is live tomorrow for the Watch Along against Group of Firth. 12 o'clock kickoff, so he'll be on about 11, I think, I presume. Kudos for my ex is a very, very good shout in terms of a player that we could look for in the future. I think he would have been a good one for maybe covering Salah sort of thing, but I think we've got it in Soberslide. That sort of player. He plays a similar position to Kudos. I think I can see Arsenal written all over him at the moment with that sort of thing. Ray Dyak says, James. Get some more of your comments on, by the way, guys. We're 48 minutes into the stream. Please get your comments in, whatever you want to ask us. Like I said, if you want to ask us what we had for tea, then I'm sure Charlie will be up for answering that. But if you want to ask us about tomorrow's game, please do. What's your thoughts on tomorrow's game? Are you excited to see a few players again? Gakpo played a brilliant the other day.
Yeah.
Dirk had a little decent cameo. Diaz looked sharp. McAllister looked very good.
Jota's always
Jota again. Jota the slaughter for a reason.
McAllister, I'm really looking forward to see how he gets on. And then some of the lads that are just coming back. So I think it might be too soon for Jones and Elliott to start, but getting them on the pitch would be really, really good. Seeing how they get on. I'm really interested to see how Jones fits in, where Trent plays as well. Will Trent play again in the number 6 in midfield? And then we have Bradley on the right back again. Will that be a bit of a feature? It's really interesting.
What's your thoughts on that, Charlie? What's your thoughts on that? I had this the other day. Someone said, well, Bradley's going to be the inverted right back. I thought Trent won't play 6 and he won't trust Bradley as an inverted right back for the season. There's no way.
I wasn't really, really convinced with Bradley being that inverted. I'm not too sure why. Well, I can see why we're persevering with the formation, but the personnel is the issue, isn't it? So it just shows that we are lacking in midfield if we are having to rely on Trent being the number 6, and then we have Bradley kind of being that inverted right back. it doesn't really kind of work for me. And then Simicast in the second half doing the same thing. Not my cup of tea. I think he's a good player, but yeah, I'm not too sure what's going on there. We just need to get more players in.
Matty says here, we have the cash but spending it elsewhere. Exactly that, Matty. That's the thing. When you've got an American businessman like this, he's got a portfolio of different things. He's got loads of players juggling. He's not going to care one bit about one certain player that's spinning off the top, because as long as it's ticking them over financially, whatever we do on the pitch doesn't affect them. They probably don't even know the results. They might know results, I don't know if they get a notification on the phone about the result or a goal.
When was the last time that Henry was at Midfield?
It's probably, I think he was like towards April time, May. I think it was he does one appearance a year, doesn't he? Just to make sure the books are ticking over, I think.
I think he was at the West Ham game away,
yes, he was,
because that's when basically Jorg was signing up for the short trial as director of football. But other than that, I don't think he's been at Anfield for a long time.
Yeah, exactly that. I know what you mean there, mate. And instead of the B, obviously a different letter. We are booked when Klopp leaves, I think. If we've still got FSG, that is. I pray that we don't have FSG when Klopp leaves. I'm not FSG biggest fan in the slightest, but they've done 2 stands and talks of entertainment arena next to the ground. Right. Scratch. I appreciate the comment. They've invested in the club. They don't invest in players, unfortunately. Right, Dave. I don't like. Let's get onto the investing in the club. I don't think they have invested in the club as such, with the stands and a training complex.
But that
was
against
by
the
club itself. That was loaned. Yeah. They'd use the club's name to get the loans.
Yeah.
Also, they might have loaned the money to the club, but they get that money straight back. So they've not really invested their own money into anything. And in terms of, I'm not FSG's biggest fan. Then say they talked about an entertainment arena next to the ground. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Why the fuck are we caring about an entertainment arena next to the ground? It might be good for for everyone that's wanting maybe a cinema or something next to the ground. But I think, I speak on terms of a lot of people that are in Liverpool themselves. I think they'll have a success on the pitch as well as obviously it'll create jobs and things like that. Brilliant for the city if they do that. But again, we shouldn't even be thinking about an entertainment arena when Jurgen Klopp's going to be leaving us in 3 years with 1 Premier League and 1 Champions League. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, Charlie, that someone made a good point the other day on the stream, that with success comes more money anyway. So why are we not pushing for success more?
Well, it's always going to be a difficult one, isn't it? Because we have had that successful period, haven't we, with what we've won and all the Champions League finals. The problem has always been in the proof in the pudding, hasn't it? You look at when we won the league, who did we buy? We didn't go on from what we should have done at that point. You look at Arsenal, and they've bought Rice, etc. You look at City, they've strengthened each and every year. The problem has always been the thing is, we cannot kid ourselves with what type of owners that we have. What we need to try to do is look at the facts. The facts tell us that when it came down to it, the periods that we needed to buy, we haven't. It's only when it's come down to pure desperation, the last nails that are being put into the coffin, that's when it's going to be a problem. That's the issue.
Scratch makes a good point here about Anfield Gender and Craig Holden about pulling 2.5k a stream. He started somewhere just like we did. You got to start from the bottom, just like Jake said. You can't just expect 2.5k overnight. It's about building, and it comes from you guys. If you help us build together, we will. I promise you now. He does a good job at Anfield Agenda, but I promise you now we will offer better content than Anfield Agenda. We will try our best to anyway, and I'll make sure everything goes back into you guys, and we give you what you guys want. Any sort of suggestions you want as well, any sort of ideas you want, just let us know. Whatever you want, we will work around you guys. and give you the best content possible.
I agree. Do people want stat shows? Do people want pre match talk and after match talk stuff? I know other channels may do something similar, but we're unbiased. We give it like it is. So I think we could do it.
Hey, you got to start from somewhere there, Charlie. We've got to start from somewhere, and it just you'll see how much we care about this channel when when we start going up and further, and we're going to do more. If it can get to the point where we can do it in the daytime as well as the nighttime, that'd be brilliant. Because we want to offer you the best and the most content out there. We don't just do little rubbish videos every now. We don't just do the same videos over and over again. I might rant on every video I do, but I don't mean to do that. The video I put up earlier, obviously the one about the 5 players, that obviously I didn't rant in that. Damon, a little late today. Does the Paulina talk have a bit of legs, do you think? Paulina, I love you. Again, Jim Moose, appreciate to come back. It don't matter if you're late or not. It's nice to get you back on. And it's all down to the money again. Paulina, are they asking for 70 million, Charlie? It's
I think so.
No, I think.
For a 28-year-old, I think that's the only problem there, Jay. I think he's a good player. His stats are really, really good last season, weren't they? In terms of defending actions. But it's just his age. You look at oh my word, I just saw the panic buy.
Wilfred Ndidi panic buy, yeah.
Yeah, just the fact that we've probably run Fabinho into the ground for a few years, and he's only just a year or two ahead of Paulina. I just don't think we could spend that type of money to then see him fall off a cliff.
Exactly this again. We're getting more people coming into this crowd, but again, it's all on value. I think all they care about is value on the club. It comes again with the transfers we bring in. FSG look to value, and if they look at a player such as Lavia and they bring them 30 million, they'll be looking then to have a possibility of selling him later on in life. Obviously, they want to sell him if they want to stay, but it's all about, can we sell him for bigger value later on in time if we need to, and that's what it's about. The only reason why we got like Thiago in is because we got him on cheap at that age.
I think some really good comments in there as well from Ben, talking about just Paulina playing half the amount of minutes as Fabinho. But yeah, good shout out there, Ben. Thank you.
Absolute pleasure, Ben. Ben from Anfield Talk. He runs the Anfield Talk lot. He's on a couple of times on Football Terrace. Absolute pleasure, Ben. And I've had him in the spaces a couple of times. A brilliant lad, and it's nice to see him plug in our thing there. Let's see what he says here as well. He's 28, but he plays almost half the minute amounts of minutes. Exactly that, Ben. Yeah. I mean, he hasn't got the experience at all. He's 28 years old. It's just not worth that sort of money at all. And I think it is a zero starter, especially with FSG. I think quite a lot of the zero starters, and Paulina is definitely up there.
Let's put it this way. Put it this way. If Paulina was half the price, you're looking around about 30 million. We still get, I don't know, let's say Lavia, or probably that next step up. If we could get someone that's a better player that has a bit higher ceiling, let's say Thuram. So if Thuram could come in for around about 40 million, we get Paulina for half the price of what they're quoting because of his age. And then we could start focusing on a really, really good Colwell as a centre-back option. That's solid. That's a solid kind of turnaround in terms of players. But it's just his age. That's the only thing for the money.
And even I'm like, at the money, never mind John Henry. I mean, when John Henry's looking at the money, he probably needs to have another pill. Lads, would you learn Southampton Bajcetic bringing in Lavia? No, because Bajcetic is just as good as Lavia now, so that'd be a pointless deal to make. I think.
I'd put in Tyler Morton as an option. I'd send Tyler Morton to Championship with Southampton. He would have a really good season. He's played really well at that level already, and maybe another year playing for a bigger club would actually do him wonders. I think that would be a better shout.
2-round links don't seem to go away. No, they don't.
No,
I mean,
no.
we spoke with 2-round back in January and his agents, and it all went going well. Again, I think there's a lot of complications with Nice at the moment. Obviously, Jurgen Klopp is trying to look to buy Man United, and is he going to want to go into proper negotiations with Liverpool with a decent price? I think Nice really wanted a bidding war with a few clubs, and what we're saying now is Liverpool is saying that we got Szoboszlai. That was the excuse of not getting two. I mean, even though they're completely different players, but again, Liverpool just make these excuses every single season. And the thing is, the thing I can tip to everyone that's in the chat right now and everyone listening, don't fall for PR, because again, I called it out the other week. Was it not yesterday? The week yesterday on Saturday was it Chris Bascombe, who's linked with the club. Obviously, he gets fed from the club certain things, and the reason why I won't go for Moises Caicedo is because the boat had sailed. Liverpool feel like the boat had sailed. We're now a week and a day later, and the boat has not sailed. He's still not a Chelsea player. This guy. The simple fact of the matter is we're not willing to pay that sort of money for a player. And the boat has not sailed ever until the player has signed that dotted line. I've seen Willian. Willian took a flight to London to go join Tottenham. Got caught at the airport by Chelsea, and they hijacked the deal.
Yeah.
There's no boat that sailed. So when that comes from like Chris Bascombe or Paul Joyce or James Pearce, it's come directly from the club. I don't blame these. I sort of blame these journalists a little bit because they're sort of lying for them, but it's their job, and it's they've got to put food on the table. They might have families to feed, So they're just doing their job. It's Liverpool that are lying. It's Liverpool. It's the PR team in Liverpool that are putting their lies out and letting these journalists put them out to you guys. Just don't fall for it. That's all I can say to you.
Just a couple of things on that. So there was the Diaz deal. So he was actually essentially the deal was agreed with Spurs, and we just hijacked it. Same price. We just and we finished that off, and we completed that. And then there was a really good podcast that you did with Mo Chatra a few weeks ago. I can only just implore, please listen to that if you get a chance. Look in the channel for the Mo Chatra pod, and that was a really, really good insight as to how the club operate and the money that we generate. It's massive. It's a lot more than what we actually produce and put out there anyway.
He talks about the PR as well from the club about they used it again with I think it was New Balance and New Balance and Nike. New Balance actually made us more money than what Nike do, but they put it out there. The club put it out there that they don't. Yeah. The reason why they did is because they wanted people to get on the side of Nike.
Season.
Nike being superstars, Nike being the commercial side to it, and it's all about their links to America, the links to LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? It's things like that. And when everything comes from like a Chris Bascombe or a James Pearce, a Paul Joyce is different. Paul Joyce is Ruud van Nistelrooy. Paul Joyce just does tap-ins. He only does things when they're absolutely certain to go in. He's literally the Ruud van Nistelrooy, and that's why he's so reliable. But like James Pearce and Chris Bascombe, for example, it's their jobs, and fair play to them. They get paid for it, but they are basically part of the PR spin that FSG and Liverpool put out. Yeah. And if you tend to believe that, then you believe in gaslighting. It is gaslighting. It is gaslighting. That's what it is. But I don't like being gaslighted. Even the thought of someone trying to gaslight you is enough. The boat sailing for me, I called it out as gaslighting that day, and still to this day is not signed for Chelsea. So where the fuck is the boat? Is the anchor caught in the rope or something? Is what's happening to the boat? It's not sailed. Is someone fucking taking the sails down? The boat's still in its dock. Has the captain jumped overboard? The boat's still in its dock. He's not a Chelsea player. It's still a Brighton player. So the boat has never been sailed. As Charles said again, please remember to like and subscribe. We're coming towards the end of this stream now, but we're again live tomorrow at I think about 11, where Charlie, not this Charlie, our different Charlie. We've got a couple of Charlies in our LSE. The the guy that basically runs the channel, Charlie, will be watching live watch along tomorrow for the is it group of Firth that we're playing, and we're getting a live at 7 at night tomorrow night, and all the way through the week, 7 every night. Charlie, you might see this Charlie on quite often, more than me. I'm on every Thursday, and next Sunday we'll be back with Grace and FJ. Who'll be doing a Sunday night chat. I try to keep it as energetic as FJ does. I love FJ's energy, and Grace has had a brilliant couple coming on Sunday nights. But the last 10 minutes of the chat, then, Charlie, let's talk about Henderson and certain Fabinho. What legacy do these two leave? And in the chat, please tell me your thoughts as well.
You put me on the spot now, Ned. So, Fabinho, absolute world class, changed the way that we operated. Even with having Alisson and Virgil, we couldn't do absolutely everything without Fabinho. And Henderson, captain, that's won everything. However, the last 2-3 weeks has kind of left us a sour taste. Not the ideal way for me. I'm seeing him going the way that he has. Essentially possibly throwing toys at the pram and things like that. So yeah, not great. I'm gutted to see them go, but we have to move on as a club. We have to get kind of younger players coming in, more energy. We need to get back to where we were 2-3 years ago with that energetic midfield. What do you think there, Damo?
I think you've hit the nail on the head. Fabinho especially is a game changer, and this is why, again, I go back to the CDM now. We need a game changer. We can't change a game changer for someone that's trying to become a game changer. We need a game changer now, and then possibly a potential player underneath that as well. Fabinho, like you said, he was a Van Dijk, it was an Alisson signing. He changed the way we played. He allowed us to play that pressing and get away with it. Because if we didn't have him in those seasons where we won the Champions League and the Premier League at his top level, we wouldn't have got to the level we would have. We wouldn't have been able to press like we did. We wouldn't be able to. Yeah. Our defence would have been exposed.
100%.
You've seen recent years where Fabinho's dropped off. Last year, look how exposed the defence does get. And I know it's Van Dijk and Canate, and we had like Gomez and Matip on form, but still, the defence can't do it by themselves. They need that sort of help in front of them, and that's how important this transfer is going to be this summer. And we cannot get it wrong. Regarding Henderson, I think he's left a little bit of a stain with regards in pushing out for the transfer. I think it's quite a bit of a spit in the face of Klopp, especially because Klopp's the one that made him who he was. I mean, I'd never ever thought Henderson will ever get to the heights that he did, but he did. And I said it the other day, it's not a debate about Gerrard and Henderson in terms of being better captain. It just unlucky that Gerrard was in that era where we didn't get the team that he deserved, which is now. So I'll tell you one thing: if Gerrard got this team, would have won the quadruple.
Yeah,
would have won the quadruple. There's no way he drags us over in them games where we draw. Richard here, when are they announcing Henderson and Fabinho transfer in Saudi Arabia? Well, Henderson medical is done. I think he's going to arrive with his teammates on Tuesday. I think that's what it was.
I think they said the first part of his medical was completed in the UK. He's going to Croatia start of this week. He may already actually be there then meeting his teammates Tuesday, Wednesday.
On Tuesday, Regarding the Fabinho thing, well, so they had the problem with the French Bulldogs not been allowed in Saudi Arabia, but that looks to be in the past now. I think they're in the final stages now with Fabinho. It'll be early this week where both deals are done. So does that leave Liverpool for a chance to then improve before traveling to Singapore on Friday? Yeah. I think it's a bit of a quick turnaround that. So I think if we're going to buy one, it'll be possibly next weekend, the week after, possibly. It's going to be a long transfer window anyway. Yeah. Who bought DVD, Fabinho, Bobby, FSG? Well, but then, Wolf, you need to look at the bigger picture. And that. Thanks for the comment, by the way. But Alisson and VVD were bought basically through Coutinho sale money. Fabinho and Bobby we made a lot of sales to get that money back. Maybe not all money back, but they're happy to sanction things when we get the money in through sales. the thing is, would we have bought? Here, Charlie, here we go then. Would we have bought if we didn't sell Coutinho, knowing that we needed Alisson and Van Dijk, knowing that they were game changers, knowing that Klopp wanted them, knowing what you know now, what they did to our teams, would FSG have paid for them?
No, I don't. Yeah, there's no evidence to say that they would have gone out and bought those two players at that price. Definitely not.
And that's why we can't thank FSG all the time, and we don't owe them anything. Yes, they saved us from Tom Hicks and George Gillette, and myself and Charlie and the rest of the LSE transfer room team, we're thankful for that. We know we'll talk about it all the time, how thankful we are for that. Hicks and Gillette were 10 times worse than FSG. That's how bad they were. They nearly put us into bankruptcy. We were nearly on the verge of administration. And they did save us. And they bought us Klopp, and they bought us Michael Edwards, who, again, a magician. However, it doesn't mean that you're in debt to them. If a person, say, for example, you were short on your train ride, okay? You couldn't get a train ride. Someone says, "Oh, I'll give you a lift to town." They give you a lift to town. Do you owe that person then for years to come? You might buy them a drink. Do you keep buying a drink every single week in order to thank them what they've done? You thank them, you give them a drink, something like that. Thank you for that. I appreciate the help, but it doesn't mean they can go around then and slap you in the face every time they want to, because you owe them. So that's what FSG are doing right now. They're slapping everyone in the face. But they can't get away with it just because they saved us from Tom Hicks and George Gillette. They can't get away with it just because they got us Klopp.
For all the good that they've done, there's an issue. Ticket prices that James just mentioned in the comments, the European Super League, other things, furlough. There's so many things, there's so many circumstances and situations, scenarios that they've brought in where trying to trademark the name Liverpool, how does that even work? There's so many things that would put any reasonable person in doubt of who they are and what they actually want to achieve for their club. That's the thing.
I mean, this is one thing that FSG did do. They raised ticket prices.
Yeah.
They tried getting the Super League, which if the fans didn't turn on that, they'd have got the wish. They got Super League, and they tried. Obviously, they got rid of Kenny. They flew Kenny Dalglish out to USA to sack him. They treated him like crap. What else did they do? They furloughed the staff in COVID. They tried furloughing staff in COVID. They'd have got away with it. Yeah. If it weren't for Scooby-Doo, if it weren't for those pesky kids, they would have got away with it. And the reason why we are winning what we are is because of Klopp mainly.
Yeah. Let's
not forget this guy has been working with hands tied behind his backs. And, great businessman, FSG, absolutely great businessman. They saw a model when it was down. They saw a potential in an investment. They got it when the stocks were low, £300 million Liverpool. A giant club like Liverpool, such a cheap price. That was a cheap price for Liverpool. Now up to like £4 billion, £5 billion. That is an investment. That is something that the rest of their business friends will look down to you and start bowing. That is an absolute business dream. But that's all it is. It's a business dream to FSG and John Henry. It's not a sports club which we hold dear to our hearts. We think more than money. As a kid, did you think about money, how much transfers were? As a kid, did you think how much ticket prices were? As a kid, did you think how much we should get for Fabinho to buy another player in? As a kid, you wanted to win on that pitch. As a kid, you wanted those goals to go in. As a kid, you wanted those trophies to be lifted.
Yeah.
Think like that. That's how we need to start thinking. We should not be even worried about what happens in financial sides. We shouldn't even. I love Mo Chacha to bits, a brilliant guest, but we shouldn't have to have him on as a guest to explain the finances. You know what I'm saying? He said it himself. You shouldn't have me on here, but that's the way football has gone because of people like FSG. It's all about money for them. For us,
and the image, the image, isn't it? Because if you think about, when Liverpool do a good thing, FSG love to have their name branded against that type of activity. So if they're, if we've signed a player, FSG have sanctioned this purchase. That's what it is. Not Liverpool bought the player. There's always some type of different angle, but yeah.
These are the responses I normally get. Is if you don't believe in sponsor, if I don't believe in what the Wolf, if I don't believe in what, because I believe in Klopp, I believe in the players, I believe in my team, my manager, but I'm not an FSG fan. I'm a Liverpool fan. Everything I care about is winning those trophies and scoring those goals and those moments of success. I couldn't care whether we're in red or green. It's nice to be in green as well as success in terms of the bank. But whatever happens on the pitch matters more so for me. As long as we're stable and ready to go and buy the best players and go get those trophies, that's all I care about. And buying the best, unfortunately, you've got to pay the money. And if FSG don't care about buying the best and being the best, then they're not worth staying, are they? So, yeah. So I do appreciate you coming on, Wolf, but I get the same argument every day from some FSG-ers. And to be honest, I'm quite, I won't say tired of it, but I do like a debate, but it's the same responses all the time for me. I don't mind a debate if it's different responses, but it's the same.
Shall we think about the positive? Let's Liverpool playing tomorrow. They're going to be on the TV. We get to see, some good football, hopefully, some exciting youngsters coming in. We've got older players that have been there for a while. There may be some transfer news that's coming in. Let's see if we can try to end this
and we will be here for all of it, won't we, Charlie?
Yeah, absolutely.
We are
I think I'm on
for...
Tuesday. I think I'm going to be here on Tuesday. I'm going to be coming in positive. Let's see. Let's go out, win tomorrow, and then see if Henderson, Fabinho move, and then we'll see what the future holds.
I'm buzzing for the season to start. I'm ready now for the
season.
I am.
Yeah.
Season, but I'm absolutely ready for the seasons to start, and I can't wait to cheer them on like I always do. And I can't wait to watch Szoboszlai in a red shirt. I can't wait to watch McAllister in the Premier League with us. And yeah, let's see if we can get some more transfers in. Me and Charlie are not optimistic fully about that, but you've got to be. I believe Klopp. I mean, that sort of interview he did the other day, I think I needed that personally. I just need to know that where his heart is, and I know where his heart is, but where his brain's at as well. Knowing that he said, "Look, I need some players." He said, didn't I? I said, "And we need to buy some players." So when it comes to the end of the transfer window, and if we don't get enough in, then FSG are the only ones to blame now, because Klopp protected him last year. I don't think he wanted to, but I think he had to. I think he might have just underestimated how poor our midfield is. I trust Klopp more than anyone. Klopp is the reason why we have won what we've won. He's our manager and is closer to us than what FSG are. And that's the thing. If the way he talks about Liverpool, you'll not get the same sort of energy from John Henry. If you listen to John Henry talk about Liverpool, it'd just be like, well, they've made me this sort of amount of money. That's what it'd be like to his friends. He'd be looking at his friends and say, look how much they've made me this year. So it is Liverpool first, FSG second for me, and that's how everyone should be thinking, because these are just American businessmen that bought an asset that was on the downfall, and they absolutely took advantage of it, and fair play to them. So we'll leave it there then, Charlie. Positivity is that again tomorrow we get to see our Reds again tomorrow live at 12 o'clock. We are going to be live here, watching Charlie, doing a watch along tomorrow. Not this Charlie, but a different Charlie. Watching a watch along tomorrow at 12 o'clock. I think he'll be live possibly at 11:30, half an hour before. Maybe do a little pre-match so you get your questions into him. And again, we're going to be live again at 7:30 at night, as we are every single night this week. Charlie said he's going to be back on Tuesday. I'll be hosting Thursday. I've been Damon. That's been Charlie. It's been Sunday Night Chat. Obviously, FJ and Grace back in next week. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and up the Reds.